Big Bad Toy Store is going to have a lot of the Godzilla anime figures up on their website, so check them out at the link in the description down below. I really don't have much to say here. There's no skit aside from, I was right. Pokemon, Kaiju, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hello there, collectors. It is Steven here, and I am back once again with another SH MonsterArts review for you. And this time, we are taking a look at the SH MonsterArts Godzilla Earth. Last year, folks, we got the SH MonsterArts Godzilla 2017, and that was the pre-time skip Godzilla Earth. And now we have him where he is all big and grown up. This is not only a repaint of the previous year's release with nearly identical engineering, quality control just might be tightened up, but there are a couple of parts resculpted to make it more accurate to the 300-meter behemoth's design. But, is this guy worth purchasing? Well, the short answer is yes. But anyway, let's take a look to see whether or not he's worth adding into your collection. Unlike the 2017 Godzilla release, which had a very odd moss coloration, which none of the other anime Godzilla figures have, which is very odd, this Godzilla stays in line with the idea that it has a metallic coloration to it, which is mostly going to be right on that edge between a blue-green color. And I do have to say that Bandai did what they did best when they are able to deliver a quality product, and delivered a grade A paint scheme on this guy. Yes, I will admit it may not look too complicated, but when you get up close and personal, you can notice the finer details on this figure, and you can really say, wow, compared to last year's release. Though he may have been what looks to be cast in a black plastic, Godzilla Earth's paint scheme really brings out the sculpted details, and I think this far away shot is pretty good, but when we get a closer look specifically at that new jaw where he's sporting that nice beard, I do have to say, beards are pretty cool, we can see that the metallic paint really adds some life to this character, and those with a keen eye will notice, just like the Bandai Movie Monster series and the Monster King series and a couple of the other 2017 releases, he's sporting glitter in the paint as well to really enhance the shininess, the metallic look of this figure, which is awesome. Also, something else, they did drop that orange tongue for a nice purple one, which I think actually looks a bit better, but still, that's pretty cool. As we take a look throughout the figure, the sculpt is identical to the previously released Godzilla 2017, and we'll notice different things like a random vein, or maybe it's a vine running here or there on Godzilla. There are plenty of folds and whatnot on Godzilla, which is great. We can definitely see well-defined claws, but what I really think brings out the sculpted details is that not only would there be light metallic blue dry brushing, but there are also streaks of silver dry brushing used in some areas to really give it a nice gradient effect in just a few key areas, especially near his arms. Of course, as we move on down throughout the rest of the figure, the sculpted details are great, including popping out some of the details on his knee, which it looks like broccoli. Yeah. The toes are also pretty cool too. Now, when we take a look at the dorsal plates, honestly, I do think that these are the stars of the show here for Godzilla Earth. Not only are they spiky, and there are plenty of them, but when you take a close look, they do look like metallic leaves. In the center, they are a beautiful blue coloration, and then with strategic use of metallic silver, it fades out to the tips, and this is true on almost every dorsal plate. Now, for those of you who are looking for a more realistic representation of, let's say, an action figure, no two dorsal plates appear to be the same. The paint applications are different. Yeah, very neat there. Continuing on down for the tail, we do have the same attention to detail all the way up to that blade-like tip, and we have the black, the blue, and the silver. Overall, the only thing that I can say about this figure, it is absolutely gorgeous, dare I say beautiful, and it is one of the best looking SH MonsterArts figures to be released, despite the fact that it does not have a super overall intricate paint application to it. Yeah. Since Earth is pretty much a repaint with a little bit of a remold of his previous release, the articulation is pretty much identical. The reason why I say pretty much is that that's right, they tighten up the quality control a little bit, so this way you don't have hands falling off left and right like I did. And a lot of other folks did. We also had a couple of issues like this portion of the shoulder coverage swooping on into the body. Swooping is the right word to use there, kids. We had a couple of issues with the torso joints not lining up correctly. But you know what? Let's not talk about that. That is in the past. That's all bad. Let's talk about the good. So, Earth's jaw moves open and closed on a hinge, as you can see here. Pretty easy to do. Not that difficult. And the head attaches into the neck on a ball joint. Something that a lot of folks don't like and considered a quality control issue is that you can get Godzilla Earth to really look up like that and it creates a gap. That's not really an issue. That's just it's just a range of movement there. But anyway, this piece of the neck plugs into the body on a ball joint as well, so we can really get Godzilla Earth to look around in a whole bunch of different directions and look from side to side, which is great. Shoulders have ball joint movement, which is really nice. Free range of movement. Nothing is blocking it. Fantastic movement there, which is really cool. And we also get a little bit of bicep swivel movement because of the use of ball joints in there. Isn't that cool? We do get elbow movement with hinges and ball joints as well, so this way we get swivels around there as well, which is really cool. We do get a ball joint there and there, which is great. And then the wrists are ball joints as well, so this way you can move Godzilla's hands around freely, which is really nice. We do have the ab crunch here, which is on a ball joint. We can rock Godzilla's body around. We can even get him to shift forward a little bit like that and shift back, tilt from side to side, which is nice. Then we have the waist joint, which is also on a ball joint as well. Now, some folks don't like this, but we can create a gnarly gap here. I don't know why. Why do you guys get upset about that? I mean, that's not a sarcastic comment there. Legitimately, in the comments down below, please let me know why you hate this gap as much as you do. I'd love to know. Anyway, yeah, but that can be just closed up nice and easy. For the hips, we do have ball joints, so this way you can move Godzilla Earth's legs around nice and easy. We can raise the leg up about that high, swing it back about that far. For split movement, whoa, that's pretty impressive. For the knees, we're just utilizing a few funky ball joints, so this way we can effectively get hinge movement. See, we got ball joint movement there. The knees on this one, the knee joints on this one on mine are kind of weird. This one is not seated 100% correctly, so I get awkward range of movement, as you can kind of see what's going on here. Yeah, but still, I can move Godzilla Earth around just fine. At the shin calf area, there is a split, so this way we have another ball joint, and then we do have ankle rocker movement on a ball joint at the ankles as well. So Godzilla Earth's main body, plenty of articulation here that you can get Godzilla in plenty of poses. And then we have the tail. Now, the issue with 2017 is that the tail was really well articulated, but the problem with the dorsal plates is that you can't move the tail up. And unfortunately, that's about the extent you're going to have there. But you can twist his tail up to the side, and if you wanted him to do that, you absolutely could. So you can pretty much get Godzilla Earth's tail into any pose you want, except for basically straight up. So he's not taking a shin pose anytime soon. So overall, Godzilla's articulation is great. The only thing that's kind of upsetting is that he can't be put into any pose you want. But he can do that. That's a winner in my book. And when I mean any pose, I mean he can't really get his toes to... All right, maybe I was lying. Maybe he can't get any pose. Now it's time for accessories, and to be honest with you, he doesn't come with too much. He does come with a pea shooter. I mean, honestly, did anyone really care about this? Okay, maybe there are a couple of you, and I'm sorry if I offended you. But I think the real star of the show here, the reason why you're spending about $110 to $120 on this guy, is you're going to want the in-scale Godzilla Filius. Yep. Oh, isn't he so cute? Is it Filius or is it Filius or Filius? I don't know. I'm going to go with Filius because I think that sounds better. First and foremost, let's go ahead and take a look at the little pea shooter, which honestly, the details are pretty cool. And they did get the paint application on that pretty nice. So this came out on the same month as the MonsterArts Gamera with the terrible teeth. Yeah. It also comes with a dedicated display base for it, which isn't anything special. That's kind of why it's just there. Yeah. Just plugs in on the bottom. What's cool though is that all 3 turrets on the pea shooter actually have swivels, so this way you can spin them around, and then you can just watch as the human characters just drag on and on while we only get like 5 minutes of Godzilla screen time. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at Minya here, which is so cool, and I'm not saying that sarcastically either. You see, Minya here, No, I know what I'm saying. Minya here actually kind of kicks open the door for smaller MonsterArts accessories, which are in scale to some of the larger ones. Like for an example, if there were to be a brown Rodan released, it can come with the little carrier that housed the baby Godzilla. That would be awesome. So yeah, here's to hoping. Anyway, the detail on this guy, it's pretty simple, straightforward. You're not going to look for something that's super hyper detailed at this size. It's just meant to have pictures like this be taken. Yeah, that is pretty imposing when you have what is supposed to be a 50-meter Godzilla baby alongside the 300-meter daddy. So pretty cool. Overall, for accessories, it is a much appreciated improvement over yet another SH MonsterArts official card game trading card. That's me being sarcastic because we got the little postcard with 2017. What does suck though is that there still is not a unique beam effect for the anime Godzilla, despite the fact that by the time we got to the second Shin release, the Awakening version of Shin, we had plenty of effect parts, whereas here, we get nothing. Thankfully though, if you wanted to recreate that scene at the end of City on the Edge of Boredom, there are plenty of effect parts out there, so this way you can have your own fun. Now, if you needed a size comparison for you, in case you forgot how big the 2017 release was, here's a, relatively quick one, and you can see that this is quite the big boy. Yeah, he's going to be a little bit of a shelf hog, but not overly so. Now, here comes the moment you have all been waiting for, the comparison with the original Godzilla 2017 release. As you can see, it is pretty close to a night and day difference here, whereas the Godzilla Earth release here on the right side has a very intricate paint job compared to the Godzilla 2017 release, which also has quality control issues of bent dorsal plates coming right out of the box. I and others have that, where that's not present on Godzilla Earth. What's also very present is that on the 2017 release, there are random drips on the figure, which could also be center points for the airbrush that they're using. Not found on Godzilla Earth. So yeah, very thankful that that's improved on the new release. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. Gotta be honest with you here, folks. This is a winner. If you don't have Godzilla 2017 and you're still on the fence on which anime Godzilla to get as your default one, I gotta say, this is the one to go with. There's no reason at this point to go with Godzilla 2017 unless you specifically like that darker green look that's almost a moss green compared to this beautiful specimen. The articulation is great, tightened up quality control from the first release, which had notorious issues such as the hands popping off and bent dorsal plates, and realistically speaking, there is only one issue with the paint, and that is a black paint blob. And the only reason why I'm mentioning this at the end and showing it to you at the end is because I caught it at the last second during a live stream with some folks. Yep, it was just one small issue. Anyway, this guy is sweet, and I recommend picking him up sooner rather than later. Well, folks, that's the end of this review. Thanks for watching, and be sure to follow me on social media to catch more behind-the-scenes shenanigans and updates. The end card should be popping up now with more hand-selected STR goodness for you to watch, so check out some of those videos. Be sure to check the description too to see where you can buy this figure or others like it, and some cool links like the credits for this video and other ways you can help out the channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.